Evening, Carol. Yes, most certainly a very difficult fixture. We recently played Baroka at the back end of December, and we were fortunate to get a victory on the day. They were unfortunate in that encounter. So yeah, I have a team with pedigree. Have done well in the cup in the past. They've subsequently, established themselves in the PSL as a solid football team. So it's definitely going to be a difficult encounter for us. So, but we're looking forward to it. We have our own ambitions. We want to do well in the cup. Like all the other coaches have been saying, every football match you want to win. As coaches, we want to win trophies. Players want to win trophies. It's a magnificent tournament to be a part of, and we want to, go as far as we can.
Does it make it more difficult to face a team that's in the same division as you?
Not necessarily. I think I share the sentiments of the other coaches. Sometimes when you play, smaller teams that you're not aware of their strengths, and you're not able to get the amount of information to be able to sort of plan really well, can also be difficult. But obviously Baroka established a PSL team with good quality footballers in their team, have produced many really good players that have gone on to do well. So, they're a solid football team, and it'll be difficult.
Coach Thobejane, 2011, Baroka FC really made a lot of waves and headlines, of course, in the NEDBANK Cup, going all the way to the semi-finals. Tell us honestly, how are you hoping to fare? How are you hoping to progress in the NEDBANK Cup this season?
Evening to everyone. I should think maybe our progression will start with my brother here, my colleague. Mm-hmm. We have to start with him. In our recent fixture, last year when we played him, but this time around,
talk to us.
This time around, my colleague must. How can I? I will be the happy man after the game this time around. You'll be crying. I'm waiting for that one.
Coach,
I'm ready.
Are the players ready? Are they looking forward to this one? After the draw, when they heard Stellenbosch, did they say, it's time for revenge?
Yeah, they said this is our time to revenge. Mm-hmm. It's our time to revenge, I guess.
Is it easier like this, that you're coming up against a team that you know well and that you've played recently? Does it make it easier?
To me, it's easy. It's easy. Because football, every game we play, we want to win it. Mm-hmm. And we are ready to win it. It's just that end of, when the whistle is blown, say end of the game, coach now is dead now. He's dead really. Like that day, the whole game from the first minute, all over, but
you lost it at the end. Does it make it easier that you're playing at home? You don't have to travel to Baroka.
Carol, yes, personally I've traveled quite a bit in the last week with the Compact Cup and also for today, so it's nice to be at home. Yeah. We want to make Dani Craven a fortress. We see it still as being a house and not a home yet. We haven't had fans since we've used the stadium, so it is a place that we want it to be difficult for opponents to come to. And most definitely, the coach his passion for the game is I saw after our game last year, literally there were tears in his eyes. So we've learned from that encounter. On the day we were perhaps a bit fortunate, but they'll come up against a different Stellenbosch on the 11th. We'll put in a far better performance than we did against them. And yes, we're looking to go far in the tournament.
Okay.
And you have to beat, you have to beat good teams, you have to beat lower teams, you have to, play the best teams in the country if you want to win a trophy. So it starts with Baroka, a difficult opponent, but an opponent that we are confident will get past.
The same TTM, as you can see, the cup is still written TTM, meaning we are still defending champions.
Hey.
There's no other TTM.
Okay, as the defending champions, how did you feel about this draw against Golden Arrows and Coach Seema?
No, it's always difficult to play his side, as you know, all of you, he's a good coach, and I'm also a good coach, and I'm ready to face him. My boys are ready to face him.
Tell us a little bit more. You're also a good coach. Tell us more, coach.
Yeah, I'm also a good coach. You cannot coach the Great Africa team while you're not a good coach. I'm a good coach.
Okay, I like it. Coach Seema, you heard it. You're coming up against the defending champions. He says they're the defending champions. No maganjal.
And a good coach. So it's going to be a difficult one. Good evening to everyone. I think he's right, coach, by saying that we are coming against the champions because it's the last name on the cup. And as Golden Arrows, we are quite aware that it's not going to be an easy game. As the panelists here that we had, the ambassadors say that it's a tournament where there's a lot of surprises, and playing a team, especially when they are getting the home games, they even become more dangerous. And we have a long trip to go to Venda to play on Saturday, but we are looking forward to the game. But it's going to be a tricky one, but we are not taking it very light at all. We're going to give it our best. We would like to go to the second round for the cup.
Yeah, I know you're taking it very seriously, this competition, because Golden Arrows has never lifted it. But as you said, this is such a tricky draw that you've had. Not too much known about this, in inverted commas, TTM. There's a potential for an upset here in the ranks.
Yeah, we said that the cup is full of surprises, but yeah, of course, hopefully this time TTM will be that upset, so that there's a defending champions, they got to put it out from the first round. So good luck to the coach and the team. We are looking forward to the match.
Coach Nelukau, home ground advantage, is that going to be very important for your side to make it?
Yeah, I think it will work on my side. I just wish when he came there, it must be hot, like nobody's business.
How many water breaks? You say you're a very good coach, but also in your squad as well, you've got some very good players, experienced players that are going to be carrying you through for this big game.
Yeah, I've got 5 or 4 good players who tested PSL. And so all I've got is Kwama, he's already with me. Players like Luvo, they are with me. Manzini, Topola, the likes of Topola. Good players, coaching by good coach.
We're looking forward to it, ladies and gentlemen. Solos Football Club will be hosting TS Sporting and Chakuma FC up against Golden Arrows. A round of applause for them. Thank you, coaches.
Yeah, indeed. It's another game where I'm under pressure. I'm sure I heard it on the side already that the ambition of the club Maritzburg United is to win the cups this year. As everybody know, I have to win the first 3 games, otherwise I get fired. I don't know how to handle this. It's absolute something I have to treat myself probably special. Last year it was Orlando Pirates in the first game. It's Supersport United. In the moment I'm not quite sure with the number of changes we have in the team. Some players left, playing somewhere in a MLS. Other players coming in from Zambia, Zimbabwe. Let's see. We played last year against Orlando Pirates more than less with a second team, with a lot of players out of our Diski team. Had a fantastic first half. Had a leading of 1-0, should be probably 2 or 3, but then collapsed in the second half completely and lost the game. In the moment, I'm not sure about which players we will put in place, because I'm thinking more about the first 3 games in the league.
Has that made your preparations that much more difficult, just the changes that have come in for your side?
Yeah, I heard a lot about X and a lot about other stuff here today. I think when we are long enough in the soccer and everybody knows you have to do the building every 6 months, because players are now competing for Pirates, competing for Sundowns, competing for Minnesota, and you have to bring another 6, 7, what it looks like in the moment that we have 5 or 6 under the first 11 who came in the beginning of January. Then under normal circumstances, when you are a coach and you have a certain knowledge, do you know, will it fit? Is it already a combination you find? The matches will bring it in the end. You can have a nice impression based on the training session you see, but in the end, if the competition is coming, the cup is coming, the PSL game is coming, you're sometimes surprised in both directions.
Coach Tembo, I know that this is such an important competition for Supersport United. First team to win it back to back. So it's one that holds a special place when it comes to Supersport United in your trophy cabinet. To have a fixture like this as an opening fixture, and then to have to face them 5 days later in the league. Tell us about those dynamics.
Yeah, look, Carol, I think this is going to be a very tough game. I think we're playing against a very good team. Playing away from home, you know how it is, Tarigwala. It's always a difficult place to go in. But I think for us, like you mentioned, that this, cup, it's a very important cup for us. I think the last time we won it, it was with Coach Stuart Baxter. And this season, it gives us a realistic opportunity to finish off with silverware. And I think we will really try and have a go at it.
Tell us about your preparations. Coaches talk about the challenges, changes, of course, after this transfer season, transfer market opened up. Tell us about the changes and the dynamics in your team.
Yeah, look, the preparations have been going well, and I think, but the most important thing is, for us also to realize that it can only be preparation, and competition and friendly games is not the same. So at the moment, we don't have a realistic idea of where the team is, in terms of, our preparations. We can only know, probably when we play competitively. Yeah. But in terms of the changes that we've, made in the team, we brought in Sifiso Ngobeni, on loan from Sundowns. Left back, good player, which we think that will add, value to our team, especially in that, position. Also Bangali, Sumaoro, will bring in his experience as well, brought him on loan from Sundowns. But other than that, I think the other one is the Teboho Mkwena, leaving the team. But we can only take the positives out of that. He has left a gap in the team, but at the same time, I think this is not the first time that we have lost players. We had Yeye, we had Dean Femin, and I think Teboko, Sipombule, Jamie Weber. They were all apprentices to those guys. But when those guys left, the stage was set for them. So it's the same thing that is happening now with Teboko leaving us. We've got younger players that we're looking forward to see them playing more, this season. Like Iniesta, Selaelo Rasebocha, Talin Bata, and as well as Jesse Don to stem their authority, in the team. So we are quite positive, with what we have at the moment.
Can we, at the other side of the stage, please have Coach Baroka, Coach Thobejane, Coach Sebastian, and Coach Lotan. Coach Zothwane, let's talk about this one. Coming up against Summerfield Dynamos FC, a provincial derby here. Are you excited about this one?
Yes, Carol, and again, still good evening to everyone, all the coaches and the media. It's a very tough game, playing against Summerfield Dynamos, being coached by one of the coaches that I respect so much, that I've worked with for the longest time, Coach Clinton Larson. It's going to be a difficult game to play against Summerfield Dynamos.
It's going to be difficult, but you know, Summerfield Dynamos, one of the teams that are coming in as debutants. I think that just adds that extra bit of motivation for them. It's a coach that you know very well, a team that you know very well.
Yes, I think they've done so fairly well in the league. They are number one in the log, and obviously it's a good opportunity for the players to showcase their talent. And for us coaches, it gives us an opportunity to see our weaknesses in the team. And each and every game that we play, it's very important for us because we learn each and every game that we play. So even this game is no different to any other game. We'll treat the game as the league game. So we want to give our best and go further in the competition.
Is this the kind of draw that you would have liked for your first match of the NEDBANK Cup?
To be quite honest, Carol, I was expecting to play any team because I knew all the teams that are in this competition. So I was expecting to play any other team, but this draw gives us an opportunity to give our best and move to the next competition. But like I said, each and every team that is in the competition, it's a good team to compete in this competition, and it gives other teams a chance to go further in the competition. So this is a good platform for these teams to go to another team, and even us, it gives us an opportunity to move to the next round.
Yeah. Coach?
Yeah, if it is possible to make
Please.
a statement to the what was said before, just to give you two scenario what I personally experienced in my young ages as a coach, thinking, because I have a university degree in economics, and I thought, let me give the advice to the player. At this time it was Billy Rayner, a young player coming from the third, fourth division into the Bundesliga. What are you doing with the money? In which way we can help from the management side? Next morning you get a call from the agent. Please, coach and management, don't steal the money from the players. That was this. I tried it a second time. I thought some years later it was a different scenario. It was a 42-year-old player, national team player, goalkeeper. His name was Uli Stein. I said, okay, let's sit together. Let's go into it. I think the time being a player furthermore is probably not the right. Let's talk about the next 5 years. Thinking in the way to say, okay, probably goalkeeper coaches be part of the technical team. Next morning was even more worse. The headline in the Boulevard, Bild Zeitung in Germany, please coach, do your job as a coach and don't be the consultant for planning after football. Uli Stein can make sign with each and every club in the Bundesliga. That was not, and that's another issue, that was not the voice of the player Uli Stein, that was the voice of the wife of Uli Stein. This scenario, it's very nice to have this ambition, but it's not an easy task to give advice in this direction, despite you have a good spirit for it.
Oh yeah, you agree as well, because that's one thing that we mentioned earlier on, Coach Zothwane, is the importance. You know, you've got NEDBANK as a sponsor here, and that's the message that they want to drive, making smarter and better money choices for the players. You know, Coach was talking about how difficult it is, you know, to impart that kind of advice and knowledge to the players. Your experience?
To be quite honest, I share the same sentiment with the coach. As a former player now being a coach, we speak, Carol, with our players and try to give them the experience that you've went through it and to make sure that they become better human beings in the future and invest more. But sometimes it's difficult to speak to the players, and sometimes they think, coach, he has been part of that. Now it's our turn. So only few players listen to us when you speak. But we'll keep trying, and this is a good initiative that NEDBANK is putting in place, and I wish our players can learn and listen to us when we speak to them. But what the coach is saying, again, sometimes it becomes difficult because the agents also play a major role in terms of making sure that their players are not speaking to other people besides them. So, but we'll keep trying as coaches to make sure that these players become good human beings at the end of the day.